Toastmasters, and invited guests.
Good evening.
Let me take you all on a journey back to when none of us existed yet, many, many centuries ago. On September 1552, on Brunei's very own water village, known as Kampung Air, a child named Manis was born. He was a fortunate child, a wealthy merchant for a father, and a loving lady for a mother. The family lived comfortably, blessed with happiness and wealth for 17 years, until one unfortunate day, Manis's father passed away from undetected tuberculosis. Both Manis and his mother inherited the family's wealth. This fortune was supposed to carry them through a lifetime of happiness and comfort. That was enough for Manis. A year after his father's death, Manis set out to the city of Sulu in search of more fortune and experience. At first, his mother disagreed. She disapproved, for he was the only one she had left. However, she finally gave in with a heavy heart in hopes that her son will come home an even better man. Each and every passing day since Manis's departure, Ambun, his mother, carried a heavy grief in her heart. She grieved his absence and feared for his safety. She did all she could in her power to make sure that her son was safe. She wished, she prayed to God Almighty to keep and bring him home safe and sound. She spent all her money. She donated it to charity. She fed the poor. And she did all kinds of charity work she could think of in return for her son's safety. Well, her efforts and her prayers did not go to vain, for Manis's intention was a success. He was given charge of one of the biggest ships in Southeast Asia and married a beautiful, noble woman named Putri Kanam. One day, word spread across the village that a huge ship was going to anchor at the Brunei River. It was the talk of the village, and Manis's mother soon found out that this huge ship was in fact her son's. She was overjoyed. Her heart leaped with excitement and happiness. She was finally going to see her son again. Manis was also well aware that his ship was set to dock in the Brunei River, his hometown and birthplace, where his beloved mother waits. Despite all the success that he has achieved, he has never forgotten his mother. He cannot wait to simply reunite with her and fill in all of those years that they have lost. He couldn't wait to fill her in with all the things that he has done in all the years that they have not been together. And that included introducing her to his beautiful wife that he was so very proud of. The day the ship was set to dock finally arrived. The huge ship made its appearance, and Manis's mother was so sure that she was not going to just sit and wait for her dear son to arrive. So, she set out, she took her small, worn-out boat, scratched with years and years of use, and paddled it all the way towards the huge ship that towered above her. She looked up and surveyed the ship in signs for any signs of her son. After minutes of anxious searching, she caught a glimpse of a familiar face. The face she knows all too well. Her face lit up with excitement and joy as she shouted, "My son, it really is you. how I've missed you. Manis caught a glance of his mother, torn and battered clothes, her face etched with wrinkles, and her once beautiful silky hair was tainted gray. He took a look at her old worn-out boat, and he was stricken with embarrassment. I cannot possibly acknowledge her as my mother in front of all my men and my wife, he thought in a panic. His mother called out again. My son, it's me. Don't you remember me? He pretended to not know who she was. In the midst of all his thoughts, his wife came to check what the commotion was about. But as she laid eyes on his mother, she shrieked, "Who is this old woman? They shouldn't let beggars paddle out into the sea like that, much less give them a boat." She shouted her orders to the crew members and said, "Show this beggar the way to where she truly belongs." Crew members followed orders immediately. They took a sturdy long cane that could reach the old boat and started pummeling at it. They pummeled and hammered violently until she was a safe distance away. Throughout the entire process, Manis's mother clutched on the boat for dear life while she shouted her plea, "No, stop! It's my son!" As soon as the pummeling stopped and the boat slowed down into a steady wave, she looked at the huge ship where her son and his new wife stood, watching with arrogant looks on their faces. Betrayal started to creep up on her, and she shook with fury. How dare he do this to me after all I've done for that ungrateful fool?
Dear.
She stared at the ship, and she cursed with wrath. May you all be cursed with a lifetime of bad luck. And for you, my dear boy, I wish I had never born you, for you clearly never deserved life. Following her curse was a flash of angry lightning and a crack of deafening thunder. Before anyone could take cover, a thunderstorm attacked the seas. Shouts and screams of help and desperation was heard. The thunderstorm violently turned the massive ship over. At that very spot where Manis turned his arrogant nose up and betrayed his own mother, a rock called Jong Batu now stands there. This rock is known to symbolize Manis's betrayal and the horrible fate he had to pay for it. Ladies and gentlemen, Manis chose his own fate when he turned his heart into stone and betrayed his own mother. A mother's wrath should never be underestimated, for she holds the power to wish us all the good in this world. But she is also granted to wish us our own doom out of heartbreak. Back to you, Postmaster.